Welcome back to the Grim Workshop. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Handcaster cards. Now the Handcaster card is a little unique with Grim. This is kind of like Burger King. You can have this your way. So this is a hand fishing line, and I've got a place for 4 fingers on this model. I've got a place in here for a line wrap, and I've got a couple spinners. But this card is available in 2 different versions. If I do not like the 4-finger style, there is a 2-finger version of the exact same card. Here's a good look at the 2 Handcaster reels side by side, and they're approximately the same footprint. It's more of a preference if you prefer to use the 4-finger grip or if you prefer to use the 2-finger grip. Now, the 4-finger grip, I have had one of these in the past, but I had an older version of it. It had the exact same layout as this. I've got detents here, so I can reel a fish in as I cast out. I've got a couple tie points to tie my line on, so if I was to play out all my line, I wouldn't lose it all. And I've got a couple lashing points here. So you can use this to attach this to a cane pole. Depending on how much fishing weight you have, sometimes it's kind of difficult to cast out a bare hook, or if you have some light bait, or if you improvise the fly in the field. It doesn't cast so well, so a lot of times I prefer to make a bamboo fishing rod or find a sapling and make a tenkara style rod or a old-fashioned cane pole, and I can attach this right to the pole, so I can play off my line. I can go further if I need to. When I'm done fishing for the day, I can wind all the line up on the Handcaster reel, and then my entire fishing assembly is ready to go as I walk away and go to other fishing waters. So if you look at the 3 style of blades that we have available, I've got a scale style blade that's going to upset the water as it pull it through. I've got one with a foil that's actually going to spin in the water. And then this bottom one actually kind of has an eye to it. So that does a couple different things. When a predator fish is approaching smaller bait fish, seeing the eye and the detail in the fish, that's actually what indicates for the fish to strike. So that's kind of a neat feature. Now, there's actually a backer to this. So this has the same tool retention system as all the other cards did. I can take these off, and the first time I've got a little metal tab, and I can just pull through. Now I can utilize this spinner with a hook or an improvised hook if I didn't have one. So when I'm done with this spinner blade, I can put it back on the card using the tool retention system. So I just put it back, press it on the backer, and this is non-adhesive, so it doesn't leave residue on the fishing lure, and it's non-magnetic, but it still holds just fine. Now also, if I were to peel this backer off, I could actually just attach this to an object. So I could put this on a tackle box, I could stick this into the side of the canoe, and I'm going to have this gear with me when I need it. So no matter which Handcaster you decide to carry, they take up the same amount of footprint. So this will fit in an Altoid survival tin. You can slip this in your shirt pocket. You can carry this in a belt pouch. I keep one of these in my life vest all the time. When I'm paddling, sometimes I will troll and drag a spinner behind me, and this takes up a lot less space, and if I break my line or if I were to snag something heavy, I'm not worried about breaking a rod. I have this. When I'm getting ready to portage, I can wind my line up real quick, tuck it back in my vest, and it's there till I need it next time. Now, this 2-finger style is brand new to me. This is kind of cool. I do like that. The 4-finger style is kind of more standard. This is what you see with most hand casting reels. And it's kind of a snug 4 fingers. I have a large glove-sized hand, and I can get in here just fine, but it's not overly large at all. But with this one, 2 fingers, fits in here with a lot of room actually. So even if I was gloved up, I could probably use this one. I've used the standard fishing reel before. This one would work in the exact same principle, but I've held this in my hand and shot a sling bow. So I attached the line to an arrow. I was able to shoot a target to mimic bow fishing. So you cannot just cast with this. You don't just have to make a line with this. If you've got a slingshot or if you've got a bow and arrow, you can bow fish with this thing just as easy. I've caught fish on the 4-finger model, and landing it is really pretty uneventful. You can play that fish out, you can bring it back in. With this 2-finger model, I really don't see that being an issue at all. Maybe with this 2-finger model, I can probably lay a finger over top of the line, and that would kind of work like a drag. I haven't really done that yet. You could do the exact same thing with the 4-finger model. But next time I get a chance to catch some fish and do some hand lining, I'm going to practice with this a little bit. I can probably control my cast using this finger, and I can probably definitely use that as a drag to control how much line's going off if I thought I was in danger of breaking the line and I needed to play the fish a little bit more. I don't really consider these to be a survival card. These are kind of an add-on. Even if I'm carrying a traditional fishing rod, I still have one of these with me. So I will cast rooster tails, I'll cast plugs. A lot of times I will cast out a float and bait with these. It's kind of a fun way to catch fish, and if the fish are small and if you just are seeing panfish and are not really seeing the fish you're after, this will put some sport back into your day for sure. Now, if you were in a bad situation and you ever needed to fish, you can improvise a reel, but you've got one with you, and look how much space that takes up. You could slip that right into a survival kit and never know it's there. But these two cards really don't work that well unsupported. Anytime I've got one of these, I'm always going to have at least a card that's got several hooks on it. So a lot of the signature cards, the bushcraft cards, got hooks on it. But usually if I'm packing this, I'll put one of the specialty hook cards on it as well. This is a very convenient way to have a small hand reel on you all the time.